the ashes, the spirits light up the night, looking down the
Now, from the Untold Radio Network, it's Untold Radio AM with Doug and Alex Hajicek.
Hello.
Hey.
The fun of doing a live show.
Right. Never ends.
You're going to have to speak up, though.
Never ends.
Because Alex's mic decided to, what was it? Unload, basically, and get rid of your driver. Probably an update, I would imagine, that did it.
Yeah.
So Alex, you're going to have to talk way louder, Alex. Like
Okay.
There you go. If you talk loud like that, we can hear you.
Sounds good.
So after the show, we're going to be working on microphones. It's fun.
Yeah.
And then my computer updated and wouldn't work. So it's like, oh my God. It's just sad when you leave a piece of equipment. It's only dedicated to this show. And Alex is the same thing. It's just dedicated equipment. And you turn the lights off, you shut everything down, and the next time you go on air, it doesn't work. It's fun.
Yeah, the joys of technology.
Yes. But I think so much of it is these damn software. These people just have to update. I literally have 5 updates waiting for me because I turned my auto updates off, but they're still doing them.
Yeah, fix it till you break it.
Yeah, that's kind of their deal. Anyhow, hello, everybody in chat. Sorry for that. We just feel really bad. I mean, we were on time, but equipment wasn't. It's good to see everybody. Hello, Sibylla, I see here. Thank you, Sibylla, again for the other week. That was awesome. We had a ball. Hi, Kevin, Patrick, Loretta, John. Who else? We got a whole bunch of people. So anyhow, it's great to have you all in here. But you want to hear something really kind of funny. In fact, it's so funny, we don't need to do any dad jokes for a week after this. Okay, so I'm driving back from my workshop, right? Heading home. Yvette's with me. And I'm noticing, because it was really cold when I got in the car, and I'm noticing the temperature's rising on my thermometer. I'm like, oh man, I look at her and I said, geez, it's 49 degrees. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, it'll really warm up good if you get on the freeway. And I realized I was looking at the speed of the vehicle, not the temperature.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So she goes, yeah, it'll really get warm if you get on the freeway. So anyhow, that's how, you imagine how stupid I felt. I was like, dummy. But it's somehow, once again, my Jeep too, I swear to God, it's never the same dashboard twice. Every time I get in the damn thing, there's a new type of layout going on there.
Yeah, they change it on you.
And so it was changed, and where the speedometer was tiny and up above. So even cars update during the night now.
They do.
So it's weird. We're getting into weird. I don't like it. I like to get in a car. I want it the same. I want to get to my computer. I don't want it messed with. So it'd be pretty sad if we have to both start taking an hour to do an audio check the day before the show, and then I guarantee it still will happen.
Oh, it will.
They'll update it that night then.
Well, we've had updates happen 20 minutes before a show begins, ruining everything.
Yeah, no, I know. Anyhow, in the news is not a ton, but I got some interesting news. But tonight we're going to have 4 of the Squatch Watchers tonight. All 4 of them. That'll be fun. Be a fun show.
That'll be cool.
So I'm glad you're here. Glad you're hanging in here. Oh, do you remember when I was talking about, it was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, about how NASA threw out those batteries out the window?
Yeah.
Out the cargo bay. I just tossed 2 tons of batteries.
Yeah, whoops.
Did you hear what happened?
No, what happened?
And I remember I was reading the odds of it hitting something. It was like 1 in 13,000 it would hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Come sailing through a Florida home, one of the batteries, right through the roof. Missed apparently this kid. Nobody got hurt, but it just missed him like by one room over. But I mean, it ripped up their house good. So they got a whole investigation team over there, blah, 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 blah. So I'm thinking, that kind of came in, kind of bit them on the back.
Yeah.
Well, they were the ones writing their own article, the odds. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Throw up photo one. That's a picture of the crap that went through, sailing through their roof. There it is. It looks substantial. Think about something coming in that'd be what, terminal velocity.
Yeah.
And how fast is that? That's pretty quick. It's like 1,800 miles an hour or some damn thing. So, yeah, just picture that as a bullet coming in, full bullet speed into your roof. So it says NASA is investigating a sizable chunk of metal believed to be part of a discarded battery pallet. I mean, just think about it. Threw the whole pallet out the cargo, whatever. Not one battery, the entire pallet.
Jeez.
And apparently it says it crashed through the roof of a 2-story house in Florida. We got all the engineers and all sorts of crap. They said that it was a tremendous sound when it hit the house. And literally, the people said it almost hit my son. He was 2 rooms over. So, anyhow.
Imagine how awful that would have been.
There, do, and some pallet of space batteries comes sailing to your roof. I mean, it could have been the whole pallet. They're lucky.
Yeah.
So, anyhow. So, next on the list is this becoming a thing now? With pit bulls that are running around outside, not in the home where they belong, or, in a fence. They're ripping cars apart. So there's another car ripped apart, just totally trashed. Stick up photo 25. So apparently there was a cat in the car, or a cat, in the engine compartment. And these dogs just tore the whole car apart. But look at the metal. Look at the damage even on the metal fender.
That is gnarly.
And we did an episode of Monster Quest where we tried to investigate, one of these car attacks, Because at that time, it seemed pretty weird to have bite marks all over your car. But probably just pit bulls. Like we built an artificial jaws. You've never seen that. You have never even seen Monster Quest, have you, Alex?
I've seen episodes.
Have you? What, 3, 4, 5?
20.
20? 20? Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Anyhow, but we built a steel jaws to try to test how, the bite force.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. Anyhow, I think that show, by the way, if anybody wants to see it, is called Close Encounters with Monsters. It's one of the more interesting shows, I thought. I liked it. What else we have here? We have apparently the Earth's rotation is alarmingly slowing down. It says, big article. So they're saying the Earth is rotating slower and slower.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, I think it's weird, especially when I finished reading the article. It says in recent years, the Earth's rotation has been speeding up due to dynamics in the planet's liquid outer core. Okay, that's interesting. Why? It says this increase presented the possibility that scientists might soon delete a leap second, from leap year. 1 leap second. Doesn't sound like we have anything to worry about, right? 1 second either way, right? However, you just gotta wait till this thing gets over. However, a new study says global warming impact on the polar ice caps is now counteracting that speed up. So then why is it alarming?
Right.
And we're talking 1 second. I don't think that's going to cause a big problem. It says that it will likely delay the need for the deleted leap second. And then that was predicted from 20 into 2028 or 2029. 1 second of messing with the clocks.
1 second.
It's like, really, people? Do you have nothing better to do? And do you have nothing better to do than blame the speed of the Earth rotating on climate change? Oh, my God. And then it goes on. It says, the Earth's rotation no, that's a wrong picture. You're getting ahead of me. It says the Earth's rotation feels like a constant, but the speed actually goes through a lot of small fluctuations that are unnoticed by most of the planet's 8 billion human inhabitants. So I'm thinking, well, if no one notices and no one's watching, what does it matter? You're not going to do anything about it, right?
Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, if we say it's 8:01 and 1 second passed, and it's not really, but we all think it's that, well, it doesn't matter. It's all relative. So I just find it weird. So, okay, throw up photo 2, the one you just threw up. Strange things may happen during the eclipse. This is what NASA's saying. They announced it yesterday. And NASA wants you to document it. Okay? So if you see strange animal behavior, strange insect behavior, strange sun behavior, strange microphone behavior, we're supposed to, during the eclipse, we got to document it. So if you see anything weird, you gotta write NASA.
I wonder if they're gonna get so many people.
You got to talk up, man.
They're gonna get so many people calling them.
Yeah, this whole eclipse thing. I don't know if you've been listening to all the conspiracy theories. You know, some of them are kind of true because they've kind of instigated them by closing schools on April 8th. Lots of schools are closing. They had the general come out, a general of the military, and say you should stock up with food and water for the eclipse. I'm thinking, what?
Yeah, when has that ever happened?
Yeah, I'm like, well, what is there something they know that they're not telling people? They've also dispatched large groups of military all over the country, including some nuclear teams. So I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. Unless somebody threatened the U.S. on that day. I don't know. Who knows? We'll move on. Okay. Another article, some guy in England, brilliant guy, he decides to study on how much pollution does like an old Camaro make compared to, in other words, should you fix up the old Camaro and drive it, or should you go out and buy a new electric vehicle, right? So he does a study on what it takes to manufacture an electric vehicle and the fact that Camaro was manufactured, 55 years ago, right?
Right.
And he goes and he does this whole scientific paper on it. Because remember, electric cars, they have to make batteries too, right? So he does this whole thing. Well, it doesn't kind of work out in the favor of the green people. And I'm not against, once again, don't ever get me wrong. I don't want the environment to get polluted either. Nobody does. But they do this study. And let me try to get to the bottom line here. It says basically driving a classic car is way better for the environment than driving an electric car because of the manufacturing situation.
Yeah.
And this guy's name is it's Footman James Study, it's called. And I recommend you read it. It's super interesting. So it's basically, somebody writes, classic cars with those evil gas-burning engines are better for the environment than the new electric vehicles. The thing is people who believe the opposite just look at the tailpipe emissions. They ignore the manufacturing, what goes into the pollution to make the damn thing. You can't just look at tailpipe emissions, basically.
Right. You got to
right. And yes, we know there's raw gas. It's all sorts of bad stuff. And the new cars run really clean. The new gas cars. It's amazing. If you grew up like I did in the 60s, 70s, even the 80s, you get in traffic, all you smell was gasoline.
It was that
exhaust.
bad.
It was terrible. Now, generally, you don't smell anything. Cars are really clean now. So anyhow, so it says here, says if you drive your classic car for over 46 years, that's the point where it'll generate as much CO2 as an electric vehicle. You can drive an old car for 46 years before it equals what a new electric car puts out, based on this Footman James study.
Based on that
So
stuff.
read it yourself. I don't know. I didn't read it. I'm reading the article about the scientific paper. That's all I know.
It's
Hey, you want to
fascinating.
play? You want to play a bumper? Make you smile.
Yeah.
Untold trivia. So just hang on a second. You can play it in a second. But this is going to be kind of a lot of sticky questions in this one. So do you know what the trivia is going to be about? Based on what I just said?
Glue.
Yeah, it's going to be on glue.
Oh, I got one thing right tonight.
Well, you get everything right. It's just your equipment decided to poop out on you. Anyhow, so go ahead and play your bumper.
All right.
So joining objects together obviously comes in a lot of forms, right? Now,
Right.
there's epoxies, liquids, aerosol glues. We all use glue. When's the last time you used glue, Alex? Try to think.
The last time I used glue.
And you don't do a lot of like crafts and car work and motorcycle work. And like for me, it was last night.
I honestly can't remember. Like, it was probably hot glue.
I was using that cyanoacetate or however you pronounce it. Crazy glue.
Crazy glue.
Yeah.
Do you like Gorilla Glue?
Well, we're going to talk about Gorilla Glue. All right. Obviously, glue helps us stick things together. It's been around for centuries. Are you Googling? You were typing.
No, I wasn't.
You don't need to type. You just typed in glue. I could hear the keys. Oh my God. He's cheating. He always cheats. Oh my God. All right. Oh, Jesus. Please. Oh, cheat. Okay. So glue can be made out of what two bases? So you have to have a base for glue, right?
Right.
So what are the two bases?
The two bases.
If anybody can guess in chat, beat Alex. Come on. I'll make sure he doesn't look at chat. Don't look at chat. It's solvent and water-based.
Yeah, solvent water-based.
Yes. Yeah, he knew that now. Okay, the Egyptians and Romans used a natural glue based on what?
Horses.
Horses. What do they do with the
hooves.
horses, huh?
I don't know, they melt them.
Melt the horses. The horses just get melted. Okay. They use the animal bones and the hides. And yeah, they render them. They don't melt them. They render them.
Yeah.
It's rendering.
They render it into a melt.
Okay, yeah. They render the horses into a melt. Yes, that makes perfect sense to me. Okay. Can you name 3 types of glue?
Gorilla Glue.
No, not brand names. 3 types.
Hot glue.
Okay, that's good. Good.
Super glue.
That's 2.
Elmer's glue.
That's 3. That's a water-based glue. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Shazam.
Shazam. All right. Facts about glue. So when do you think we have found the earliest examples? Look up, Alex. Come on, up. Straight ahead. Never look down. What is the earliest example of glue found, right? Made by humanity was it 50,000 years ago, 25,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, or 200,000 years ago?
Was 25,000?
It was 200,000 years ago.
Whoa.
We have evidence of glue use. Isn't that cool?
That's going way back.
Yeah, that does. That's some real old Elmers. That's a lot of horse. They probably melted dinosaurs, right? For that? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Okay, and then our ancestors in old Italy, they used birch bark tar
Birch bark.
to like bind stones together. So you can always go revert to birch bark tar. So how much adhesives do we sell in this country? Is it 11 billion, 30 billion, 5 billion just in the US, not Canada? 11 billion, 30 billion, or 5 billion? How many dollars in glue?
11 billion.
I think I bought $1 billion worth myself. You're saying 11 billion. Yeah, and once again, you're looking down. I know you're cheating. You got that whole thing laid out in front of you, don't you? Oh my God.
No, I guessed.
Nobody got it. Yeah, you guessed. Prehistoric hunters used natural glue to bind what? What did they bind with glue? Prehistoric, we're talking caveman dudes.
Furs?
They bound furs. They glued fur together.
Yeah.
To like what? To make a seam to
make a coat.
To make a coat. They glued animal hides to make a coat. Perfect. It was to bind stone arrowheads.
Oh, the
arrowheads. Or for clothing or jewelry.
Oh, look at fur clothing.
But not fur. I don't know, a fur.
What do you make fur clothing out of?
Yeah, anyhow.
Fur.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
They're making glue.
What happens when your arrowheads fall off?
Okay, 1 square inch of super glue can hold how much weight?
1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds? It's one ton. 1 ton.
1 ton.
You're wrong.
Okay, it was close.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
So all glues are separated into 2 groups. Do you know what those groups are?
The sticky kind and the non-sticky.
The sticky kind and the non-sticky kind? Oh, God. Natural and synthetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
When was the first glue plant put up? It was put up in the Netherlands. First glue factory.
In the Netherlands.
Yep. When was it?
The 1600s.
Yeah, it was 1690.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's a good guess. Although I don't think you guessed. I don't think so. You're not living this down. So when did the U.S. First patent in the U.S. get registered? It was either 1776, 1976, or 1876 in the U.S.
1976.
It was 1876. You're 100 years off.
Oh man. Well.
So super glue. Okay, now we'll see what you know about super glue. Super glue works a little better if the surfaces that you're gluing together are a little bit what?
Coarse.
No, wet.
Wet.
Yeah, super glue. In fact, when I bond something with super glue, I breathe on it to add that moisture. You get a much better bond. The humidity. Yeah. Super glue loves water, but not too much. So what was one of the most important moments in history as far as glue goes?
World War.
And it happened, well, I'll tell you when. It happened in Alex, it happened in 1942 by an American inventor, Harry Coover. Not Hoover, Coover. And he accidentally created a substance. What was that substance?
Super glue?
Yep. And he released it for commercial use in what year?
I don't know, 1940s?
1958. It took that long.
Whoa.
That's crazy, huh? It's crazy trivia for crazy glue. So how many glue is used by each person per year? Not counting Alex. He doesn't use any. I don't think Alex uses any glue.
Half a pound.
Per person in the U.S., they use 18.2 kilograms. I don't know what that is per pound. What that translates.
It's way less than half a pound.
Is it? What did you say?
Half a pound?
Oh, God. Well, no. Well, kilogram. I don't know what a kilogram is. How much is a kilogram? How many pounds are in a kilogram? Tenths of a pound. So it's 10. Isn't a kilo 100 grams?
For every pound, it's like basically half a kilogram.
Every what?
Every pound is like half a kilogram.
Every pound is a half a kilo. That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's
So you use 9
0.45.
pounds of glue for each man, woman, and child?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
There's something wrong with your math and your mic. Okay. All right. So, okay, everybody, who could be the first person to tell me what colors are on Elmer's glue bottle?
White and orange.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, you were. You got it. And what is the mascot on Elmer's glue?
Gluey.
Gluey is his name, huh? That's your guess? Gluey.
I don't know. Elmer?
Well, what is it? What is the picture of it?
I don't even know.
It's a cow.
But
That's wrong. It's a bull. It's owned by let's see here. It's owned by the Borden. So it's a trademark. It was trademarked in 1962. And by the way, Elmer's glue used to use casein to make the Elmer's glue was made from a byproduct of milk. So Elmer's glue is made of a milk byproduct. Now it's made of PVA. Polyvinyl acetate.
Wow, it doesn't have that protein anymore.
No, it doesn't have the protein anymore. I wouldn't recommend you eat it like I think we did when we were kids. It was kind of a thing, you know. Back in those days, yeah, you could eat it.
Yeah, it was probably good for you.
I don't know how we knew that. But apparently Elmer the Bull is who's on Elmer's glue. And apparently Elmer's wife is Elsie the cow, who's used on some baking products or something else. I don't really know. It's a cool company, though. They were sold here not terribly long ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, in 2017, they experienced a 50% jump in sales. Why? Why that 1 year did their sales go up half again as much? Can anybody guess?
They had a cartoon.
They had a cartoon. I like this guy. Jermac goes, I ate paste. Who else will admit it? Oh my God, I can't even breathe. That's the greatest comment ever. I love it.
Because kids started eating
Ristal got it. Slime. Because it's just ingredient in slime.
Oh.
So everybody's making slime, and you had to have Elmer's glue to make slime.
That makes sense.
Who would have thought, right? You had a little borax in there, a little food coloring. Next thing you know, you got good old slime.
Some Nickelodeon slime.
So please, if you have funny stories like, well, I can't remember. Is it Germac that had the funny? Please put it in the comments, not in the chat. Add it to the comments, or in the future when people watch this, put your funny Elmer Glue stories in the comments, because there's a lot of. I could tell funny Elmer Glue stories for a long time, actually. There are things we did with it that were naughty, right? Lots of stuff. So the nice thing about Elmer is you knew it wouldn't hurt anybody. You know, it wasn't like people putting crazy glue on toilet seats, right?
Right.
Which was, you could, really hurt somebody. But Elmer's, you could do a few little pranks here and there. You could do things, but you would never hurt anybody. You could always get rid of it because you could always, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Wash it off, flake it off, some damn thing. So.
Before I forget,
what?
The Squatch Watchers are in the back room.
Oh, sweet.
If you wanted them to join.
Sure, we could have them join in on this technology thing. I'd love that. Love to hear their feedback. So let me introduce these guys, and we're going to do tech breakdown. Feedback's nice and be fun, but we got to do this one because it's I think it's important. So we've got Tate, Taylor, Toby, and David in the back, right?
Yeah, I think.
So these are, pardon?
I think everyone but Toby's here.
Yeah. I can hardly hear you, Alex. It's bad, your mic, man. So anyhow, all are good friends. They've spent years together. I don't know what that means. They're so young, I don't think it was too many years, right? Investigating the unknown. And when it comes to Bigfoot, their focus will not be deterred from bringing you the best evidence that they can find towards its existence. Then I know they do go out actually on site to sightings and, witnesses' homes, and I think that's cool. And they're kind of document that, so I think that's really cool. So let's welcome Taylor, Toby, and David. There they are.
Thanks for having us.
We got Super Dave, and we've got Taylor and Tate. Good. I hope are the names on the right side, because I don't know.
No, they're not.
Guys.
I'm Taylor.
You're
Taylor. Tate, no.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, and who's missing? Toby's missing.
Yeah, I have no clue where he's at.
Toby's MIA.
MIA.
Toby, are you there?
No, I never even saw him log in, so I don't think he's gonna be with us.
We'll have to check on Toby after the show.
All right. Well, we're gonna check. This is the one man short.
Yeah,
You need to get everybody.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, there he is. Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just talk crap about Toby. That'll get him on.
Yeah.
Let's do that. You know what?
Let's start talking. Yeah, he isn't really that nice of a guy, and it's not the brightest guy I've met, and blah blah blah. No, I'm just joking.
I've heard his real name ain't even Toby.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. That'll get him on. People,
Doc's your friend.
You better get on there and defend yourself. Anyhow, so where do we want to start? First off, I think it's really going to be a better show without Toby. Don't y'all agree?
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah. So crazy thing about glue. There's a place called Taylor Chemical in Hickory that I think puts out the Elmer's glue stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's crazy you was talking about glue. I was like, I think that's.
I've dealt with Taylor Glue Taylor Chemical for years. In my textile days.
Yeah.
And what kind of glue do they make?
You name it, broad spectrum. Polyvinyl acetates, potato starch, Elmer's, you name it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
No, that's interesting. I would imagine though that that PVA glue is non-toxic, isn't it? To a point.
I wouldn't think so.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I don't think so.
Wouldn't know.
If you ingest a little bit of it, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, you wouldn't want to sit here and drink a cup full.
No. Maybe that's why Toby's not here. He's tasting some Elmer's.
He didn't taste it. He sniffed it.
He's sniffing Elmer's. Okay. Anyhow, oh gee, we're gonna get in trouble here. No, we're just.
If y'all just knew Toby, Toby is so clean and tight.
Yeah.
He is a gentle giant. He is soft spoken. He's just a really good guy.
Well, why
so
didn't
you
he
can poke
show
a little
up?
fun at him. He'll understand.
Why didn't Toby show up?
That's a valid
I have
question.
no clue.
I'm the same way. Why didn't you show
I'm
up?
curious too. I have no clue.
He got
Toby
stuck in the glue trap.
Toby runs a business, so we don't really know what's going on. So,
Alex, did you talk to Toby today?
No, I haven't had the pleasure.
Oh, you didn't get a hold of Toby. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Toby's just gone. He's just. He's not going to live rent free in my head.
No.
This is the end of it. I'm not thinking about Toby anymore after this.
sorry, Toby.
This is going to be like the Matt. Do you remember when I think Matt Damon didn't show up for some show, and the show host dogged him for the next 10 years. Every night he would say goodnight to the audience, saying goodnight to Matt Damon. Remember that? So we're going to have to do that, Alex, for Toby.
That'd be great.
We'll say good night, everybody, and Toby, good night.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first off, I want to know, you guys do wood knocking.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things, and I do wood knocking. I don't think that many people do it, but man, I can almost say close to 100% success.
Yeah,
well, first off,
absolutely.
I don't go into a bad area, but what do you guys say about it?
We agree with you, and then I'll let these guys take the reins of this. But see, we're in North Carolina. That's where we're based. We've done an investigation for like almost 15 years now on the same property. Started right out of high school, and I did, and but yeah, man, we're in a high activity of Bigfoot, what we believe in our area, and like you said, we do the knocks, and Tate does most of those knocks, and it's not 100%, but it's about 80% success rate. We get a knock back or something that sounds like a knock.
Well, it's a mixed bag of reaction, especially on our channel when the comments start going about it, because everybody has a different approach to Bigfoot investigating, just like anything else in life.
Right.
And there's some people out there that say you should go in there and just sit and do nothing. Don't even film it. Just be quiet. Just sit down, do nothing, and the Bigfoot will come to you and all that stuff. You get interactions and activity, and then some say, like we do, go support us. We go out there and wood knock, holler, and just be entertainment for the creatures and see if they'll come out to us. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. That's why we call it Bigfoot hunting. But we've had a lot of success with the tree knocks, and we still love doing it because it's a way of communicating to the Bigfoot.
Yep.
Yeah, and obviously we don't know what it means, right? We don't know. Is it territorial? I'm kind of suspecting, if I was going to bet on something, I would say territorial is part of it. The other one, obviously, communication, but territorial, because if it's let's say another family of Bigfoots communicating, they're still going to want to check it out, right, Dave?
Oh yeah. So we can't prove this, and it was kind of put in our ear one time, and we were always told 1 knock good, no problem, 3 knocks, no problem, 2 knocks, and it stops. You're pretty much they're giving you an invite to leave. We can't say it for 100% certainty, but we've had some times where we got the 2 knocks and things got a little hairy, and it's okay. We're going to respect what we think you're trying to say. And we pack it up for the night. But I also
okay, Super Dave. What about 1 knock?
We don't know exactly how to read everything. What does a whoop or a yell mean? Because we definitely whoop, yell, howl, holler. The screams are the worst kind. I mean, as far as just rattling your nerves. But when you hear a Sasquatch scream, worse yet, when you hear one roar at you from what seemed to be no more than a couple of 100 feet away, and your chest is vibrating from that roar, obviously they're not happy. But I'm still going to go and try to figure out what's going on.
What's the closest you guys have had a return knock happen, or a return scream, or?
David locked himself in the car one night.
Okay, well, you got to take the name Super Dave down now.
No. You go and tell that story right. I'm just going to jump in.
Yeah.
So this is early on, and we would, we were on someone else's property, and we would say, hey, we got some people, we want you to take them out. David, can y'all get your group together and come, basically try to convince people. So we did that a lot. Well, we had another friend of ours who invited his, family member. And I won't mention him by name because I don't have a lot good to say about him after I got to know him well. So, but nonetheless, he was there with us. It was an incredible night. The footage, it's all archived in Rex's MacBooks, but it was just an incredible night. We're out there. It's pushing 3:00. The cameras are dead. The SD cards are full. We got no batteries. We're just out there really just looking. And we worked our way back up to, we always called it base camp where the cars are parked, and we're getting ready to leave. And all of a sudden you hear what could not have been more than maybe 100 feet away, this crashing sound in the woods. And then you heard, and right at the end of that little roar, I heard toot, toot, toot. And they all jumped in the car and locked themselves in.
Oh, jeez.
They rolled the window down about that far. Taylor sticks his lips out. Just get the car, David, get the car. That's the story as I tell it. But they had their windows cracked, and they were begging me to get in the car because I'm walking towards the woods, and I'm like, I've got to know. I have got to know. And they're just like, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. So they drove up to where I was at, and I finally, entertained the thought it's probably a good time to leave.
Gosh.
But, it couldn't have been 100 foot away from us. Couldn't have been.
That was our pre-YouTube days before we started putting it out there for everybody really to see.
Correct.
Yeah, for the record.
Now we've grown. Now we've got some hair on our chest.
See, okay. Before we go any farther, Tate and Taylor, can you guys come a little forward so we can hear you better?
Oh yeah.
We got Super Dave. He sounds great.
How's this sound?
That's perfect.
All right.
Right here.
There we go. Now, there we go. I love
But
it.
for the record, real quick, this was before my time, so I was not one of the ones jumping in the car. I'd have been standing there with Super Dave.
Actually, Tate was a skeptic at this time, so
Yeah. But I believe he would have been by my side.
Yeah.
So, are you guys still skeptical?
I'm not. No.
Not at all.
I started that way. I got involved because I wanted to know. But no, I'm no longer skeptical. Once you have seen, all but touch one. There's no doubt that Sasquatch, Bigfoot are real. That's for me. That's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it's it's kind of hard to explain away all those witnesses I'm sure you guys talked to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're so addicted to this, because it's like we know there's something out there. You're just not doing, we love doing it, and we're just addicted to it. That's we know there's something.
Well, the best part about it, and it's kind of dangerous for us now because we expose ourselves to all these elements, but Bigfoot has opened the door and a can of worms.
Charles, I'll answer that question shortly.
But
I'm responding to your guys that are just chiming in. But yeah, Charles has got a great question. We'll give him our theory. We'll put that out there for everybody a little later on.
So
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. See, I brought you guys on just a tad bit early. Of course, we were running late because we had tech problems. But I wanted to talk about every week I do a little tech session on something new to try. And this week I wanted to talk a little bit about game cameras and UV vision that I believe Bigfoots may have. They may be able to see maybe in the IR vision, which, that's on the high end, they're around 800 nanometers, but they may be able to see in UV spectrum. That would cause parts of the plastic on game trail cameras to glow, right?
Yes.
So I ripped apart a game trail camera. But first, I want to get into this here. I'll try to make this as kind of quick as I can. But I want you guys' feedback throughout all of it. Okay, so I tore apart again. I wanted to go after the passive sensor shield. The shield that covers the the thing that triggers the game trail camera, because I think that's the weak point. Okay, so now we're going to put that on hold, and I'm going to show you some things. But I want to talk about, why do I think Bigfoots may see in UV? Caribou, they've proven that they see in UV. So I'll go ahead and Alex and throw up, see what picture would that be? Photo 21. So on the left is just the way we see a dandelion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just a normal, everyday yellow dandelion. A caribou sees it that way. Totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And they're discovering a deer have a form. God, I'm just totally losing my voice. Hold on.
All right. First thoughts, Avatar.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's such a beautiful, to be able to see color like that, that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Well, not only it looks cool to us, but it enhances and shows the protein content.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have two identical plants, and a caribou can go, oh, this one's got more protein in it. Don't eat this one. That one will be good tomorrow. So they'll eat this one and move on and look for another one like that one. Because they need, they don't want to take in a bunch of cellulose that doesn't have content to it, protein. I kind of think most people agree Bigfoot's probably didn't evolve from the south and move north, but probably evolved in the north and moved south, right? Do you guys agree with that? Possibly. I mean, these are all theories.
In theory,
right. Does that sound kind of about right in theory?
It could be. I can't argue with that because they do live, they do breathe, they do eat. So,
Well, yeah, we're going on a flesh and blood basis here. We're not going on, obviously, paranormal. Bigfoots probably don't eat plants and deer and so on. But, okay, my point is, it's like, let's say they evolved in Asia, came over the land bridge or wherever. They're going to come over in the Arctic. Caribou lack the UV filter in their eyes. The other weird thing that's really interesting, connected some dots just today. Do you guys know caribou's eyes change color with the seasons?
No.
Did not know that.
No, their
but if
eyes,
Toby were here, he would know that.
Yeah. Yeah, Toby would. But their eyes change color with the seasons. And of course, one of the dominant colors, man, I'm really sorry. I'm literally just cracking here on my voice. Their eyes turn blue in the more low light part of the year. Like in Alaska, it's dark 24 hours a day, right? So it's almost dark. Well, the blue eyes allow them to feed in lower light. Blue-eyed people like me like lower light.
Mm-hmm.
But their eyes turn blue because their mirror constricts, and then it changes the wavelength of the light hitting their eyes and going into their eyes, and they turn blue, and they turn gold and brown other times years. But it's interesting. Have you ever taken reports of blue-eyed Bigfoots? I have, and I know Sybilla's in the audience. She has, and I know other people that have seen blue-eyed Bigfoots, and I've always found that really weird to me. But wouldn't it be neat if they basically had a very similar eye to a caribou eye? Because caribou also, excuse me. Oh man, this is terrible. Hold on. Caribou, that doesn't even do it. The water's not even doing it anymore. Hold on. I'm going to pop something. I got a root beer. The worst thing you could drink while you're on a podcast.
Yeah. Are you drinking mugs or which kind of root beer you got?
A&W.
A&W. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
There. Yeah, it's better. Okay. But caribou have a very large tapetum lucidium in the back of their eye. Well, I'm sure you guys have taken reports of Bigfoot eyes glowing.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I suspect, once again, if I was a betting guy, I would suspect they ever find a body and they do if they do a dissection on it, they're going to find these things have probably the largest mirror behind any eye ever seen, is my guess. And that would explain, obviously, the intense eye glow. People see from very little natural light, and some people say they glow also without any light, and there's an explanation maybe for that too, but I don't want to get into that. So my point with all this, here, let's show up some more pictures. Throw up photo 3, Alex.
Okay.
There we go. There's another example. Bees, of course, see in UV also, and that's an example of a bee vision. And they're, of course, looking for pollen. So their UV vision enhances pollen content. And then throw up photo 5. And to us, photo 5 looks like one color. And you can see that's the opposite of one color. Okay. And then throw up photo 7. And this is what deer see camouflage. You just wash your clothes with detergent that has phosphorescence in the detergent to, brighten colors, right? That's what we've been watching commercials for that since we were kids. That's the result. Not very camo. They basically camouflage. Green camouflage glows blue to a deer.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what you look like to a deer.
Camouflage is marketed for human eyesight.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
If you, I spent 20 years doing camo. If you really want to do camo that you want to do something that is, the colors are not very appealing and it breaks up the pattern of the body. It just, it gives something to blend in with the background. Doesn't have to be leaves or anything like that, but your desert camos for the military are some of the better stuff. If you ever wanted to go deer hunting, it's going to blend better. But
it's very important you don't wash them in with modern soaps. You need to get soap with no phosphor, no clothing brighteners, because you just, you're defeating the purpose. And they do make UV blackout detergents, I believe, and they do work.
Now, Uncle Pete, God rest his soul, one of the best hunters I've ever seen in the woods. He never washed his hunting clothes. And he basically had maybe one outfit, kept it in a black trash bag. He put it on when he got out of the truck. He put it back in the trash bag when he got in the truck. He just, and he kept vanilla flavoring in the bag.
Yeah, for scent and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can imagine, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just sit in a box stand when I deer hunt. They have trouble seeing me if I'm in a box stand.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, but if a Bigfoot can see in UV, you're going to be glowing all over. Your game trail cameras are glow. Do you guys use game trail cameras ever?
We only have one.
Okay.
And we're playing around with it just to see what we come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because David's had this theory for a while now also that they can see and hear even the batteries sizzling in the cameras and stuff like that.
I think that's completely false. Oh, and here's why. They're not reported with giant ears that are cupped forward. They don't have a big snout. They're not going to smell that kind of stuff. They have huge eyes. Their eyes, I think, are their superpower. I think they depend on their eyes. I think they can smell like we can. And let's say 30% better. I think they can, I don't know. Once again, let's just pretend they're flesh and blood. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're definitely flesh and blood.
You know what I mean?
But there's so many reports of where people are burying extended battery canisters in the ground so that they can't be messed with. And sometimes we're talking 2 feet deep. Right. And yet they're still being dug up and not just moved, but destroyed.
Yes. I've heard stories like this. And
So
there
that's
are
where we
animals. Well, animals can sense electricity. It's why they make these Vex outfits that you can buy to block your own EMP that you put off. They can sense it.
It's pretty
And
neat.
they've pretty much proven that hunters who wear Vex outfits that block, it's basically a little Faraday cage in your clothing that blocks your own EMP. You're going to have better results deer hunting, moose hunting, bear hunting, whatever you do. So I find that interesting. So that may not be, once again, a paranormal thing. It could just be what I call a super ability. That makes sense? It's a super ability versus a superpower. But anyhow, okay. So let's just say Bigfoot's lack, these filters. And once again, I don't know. It's just a theory. But here, I've got some ideas that we can test, including you guys. I would love you guys to test this. If you only own one game trail camera, you guys will be kind of worthless in testing this. But I know guys that have 50 of them and keep 50 of them going all the time with no luck. Yeah, they get deer and cougars and coyotes and all that kind of stuff, but they don't ever get any Bigfoots. So here's an idea. Okay. So Alex, put up the next photo. It's photo 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the passive shield on a regular trail camera under UV light. You can see it glows like a son of a gun. Don't you guys all agree that would be pretty easy to see up in a tree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If that was your vision. Okay. Well, there's a way to fix it really easy that won't bother the passive sensor. I'm going to, I think I can demo it right here I'll try. It may not work. Okay. So here is the actual sensor. So let's see here. Alex, can you put me on full screen? Okay, I'm in bright light and I've got huge movie lights on me. I don't even know how to do this here. Everything's backwards. Nah, that isn't going to work. Okay, never mind. There's too many lights in here. All right, but here's how you do it. You just take, that's good. You take a 3mm trash bag and you cut just a little piece of it and just cover. You can use Scotch tape to tape the edges, duct tape, whatever, but put a black piece of just 3mm trash bag over that sensor. Then I tested them all day today. That's no effect on the sensor. It's the only material, which is low density polyethylene. It is the only material that won't affect the sensor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A trash bag. And last week we were talking about trash bags. You can see me and Eric were experimenting with it where thermal cameras see right through it. Low density polyethylene, which is all trash bags are made of that. I don't know why they make it out of that, but it makes a nice tent porthole so you can, monitor a Bigfoot outside through your tent wall without them seeing you. So it's really a cool trick. So this may be interesting for anybody who's got a bunch of game trail cameras. Go in and retrofit all of them.
We're going to test this out.
Yeah, I think it's really. I just
we're
discovered
going to test this
today.
out.
This is something new. I just did it today. Tested it on a whole bunch of cameras. It works. I even used alarm sensors. Works. There's no effect, 0 effect on distance, triggers, or anything. You can black it out, and of course, it won't glow anymore. Then do a good job camouflaging the rest of it, and maybe someone will get some luck. So that's it.
Yeah.
But you know what I found more interesting than anything was the caribou's eyes changing color today. I didn't know that until today.
I didn't either.
It was literally one guy, one researcher that followed a herd of caribou around throughout an entire season in order to know that, All right, done talking on that. But back to normal. All right, back to interviewing you guys. So I brought you on early, so I didn't mean to cut into your time, but
No, you're fine.
good.
I wanted to
that's
get
cool
that
to
info.
know.
Well, I think it's important. Don't you
Yeah.
agree? I mean, this kind of stuff like this, it's going to be a multi-step process. You're not just going to throw a game trail camera on a tree and get the best Bigfoot footage. It's going to be a number of things that you're going to have to do to fool one or, be there at the right time in the right place. So
It's a lot of trial and error.
yeah. Have you found, guys, I don't know who wants to go first, but what is the most frustrating thing about the mystery to you guys? What's the most frustrating aspect to this mystery? Is it people's attitudes? Is it the creature itself? Is it the just the lack of support? Is it, what really gets under your hide? And you probably all have a different opinion. I want to hear from all three of you.
I'll just say one quick. Mine is whenever the people that never go out looking for Bigfoot, never go out looking for Bigfoot signs, never try to tell you like Bigfoot isn't real. It's like, well, how often do you go out looking for Bigfoot? Well, never. I've been in the woods hunting for 30 years and I've never seen a Bigfoot. Well, were you looking for a Bigfoot or were you hunting for a deer? That's my like argument with people. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that irritates. Yeah. People that put the mystery down out of just basically ignorance.
Yeah.
They've never looked into it. They're not aware there's 10,000 documented sightings and between the BFRO and some of the other groups. They just have never. Yeah. I try to tell every skeptic, go to the BFRO, start reading reports. Then move on to some other things, but start there. It's a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you, Super Dave?
It's people who are very dismissive of the evidence. Like Taylor said, the ones that don't go out there, they're not the boots on the ground.
Yeah.
We drove nearly 4 hours to a gentleman, and we spent an entire day with him and devoted a lot of time because he wanted us to come and investigate an issue or a sighting, a picture, if you will, that was very intriguing. I can't sit here and say definitively that it was a Sasquatch, but we found so much evidence to support something along those lines on his property. I mean, we really want to go back.
Was this a game trail camera?
This was a game trail camera, and it was one of the most intriguing pictures I've ever seen. So after we did this investigation and spent a lot of time and I always tell everybody it's our job to make our guests look good. I don't want to make them look like they're foolish or crazy or anything like that. But then he turns right around and sends it to another guy who says, oh, yeah, that's clearly an elk or a moose in the state of North Carolina near the coast where there are no moose.
I worked on that photo many years, actually quite a long time ago. I don't know when. Was it a year or 2 years? I don't remember. It's been around.
The one with the ear?
Yeah, that photo, that exact photo.
Are you the blonde ear looking thing?
Blonde?
Yeah. Afterward, I mean, we can send you a picture of it.
Gray and blonde. Mixture colors.
This thing looks like a buff, blonde, or grayish creature of some sort stepped in front of the camera.
Is it the one that's kind of chubby?
No, this all you see is a neck. Maybe a slice of a shoulder, clearly the back of a head, and a fur-covered ear.
I haven't seen
definitely an ear. And then we have those that say, "Oh, it was the behind of an elk." I'm no anatomy expert, but I'm pretty sure this was not the rear end of an elk. And they've only recently released elk in the state of North Carolina, and I'm going out on a limb to say if there's more than 20 living elk in the state of North Carolina, maybe a few more. There's not many. And they're clearly not at the coast.
You guys, if somebody wants, I mean, you can send it to Alex if you have Alex's, and he can throw it up if you can, and we can talk about it. But these things are always interesting when you have a single photo or scientifically that's not very valuable, but those sites are worth to go investigate for sure. They're very worthwhile going to. So we've all agreed that probably it's just people's attitudes that's the most frustrating. But is the creature frustrated you guys at all? The creature itself, by kind of
Well,
outsmarting
I was
you
going
and
to say my part, but I didn't get to say
you.
my part, so I'll go ahead and speak.
Yeah, come closer, Tate. Come closer.
Yeah, you're talking about the creature frustratingness. At times, it's frustrating when activity's happening, action's happening, and then all of a sudden it just stops. It's just dead quiet. It's like it disappears. We don't know why it does this. We have a few theories, but that's one of the most frustrating things when we have action and activity on camera and then it just disappears.
My theory is they'll do something really crazy and loud before they leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when they'll bam a cabin or smack a tent, and then they leave like chickens. They just kind of, they run just like a gorilla. If you've been to the zoo, I'm sure you guys. I know Super Dave's been to the zoo many times.
Couple.
Yeah.
And you've seen them. If you have gorillas at the zoo you go to, they'll smack the glass and they run. They know there's nothing going to get them. They just run. And I think they kind of operate that way too. And so that could be one reason. But I've been outsmarted for 35 years.
Yeah.
And
we've had them hit the cabin that we were staying in so hard it shook the whole foundation, and immediately run outside and they're gone.
Yeah. What is?
I mean, now you can see in the forest where maybe movement of trees where something has passed through, but to be able to see a creature, no, they're gone, and I mean quick.
Yeah, we have to get Alex somewhere. I got to get him up to a snow grove or something and experience the wrath. Alex, you got to join us this summer.
The wrath.
But isn't it crazy how hard they can hit something?
Oh yeah,
terrifying.
And the guys will tell you, we had a thought process in our mind that the only way that the noise that we were hearing, we're on property. There's a lot of bedrock, a lot of granite, stones. I mean, to be walking in and all of a sudden there's this huge boulder sticking up out of the ground is not, unheard of where we're at. But we have been hunting, and all of a sudden the noise is so loud. It really, you stop because you want to know where is this coming from. But then there's the reverberation that's coming from the noise, where it really sounded like it had to be rock grinding on rock to make the ground shake under your feet. And it was terrifying. I'm not going to lie to anybody. They call me Super Dave. I'm not running from nothing but spiders. But at the end of the day, I'm going to find out where it's coming from. But this thing was beating rocks so hard on the ground. The whole area shook. And then when it started that cheese grater grinding effect, you're thinking, oh my God, it does not want us here. We actually found a rock and I'm going to make up a size, okay, guys, the size of a wash tub was the rock that it was using to hold and grind on the ground of another piece of granite that was in the ground. And that was what was making these horrible sounds. I mean, so they're incredibly strong and they're incredibly fast.
Describe that sound in more detail.
If you could imagine, I don't know how to say it, I don't know. I mean, we're talking a large rock here, and when I say large rock, I'm going to make up a weight again. 200-300 pounds. None of us are picking the rock up by ourselves. None of us. Okay, and then you're going to pick that rock up and you're going to stick it on a boulder buried in the ground, and God knows it could be as big as a dump truck. It could be as big as a house. We don't know it's in the ground, and it's just grating that rock across, and you can imagine hearing that. And that's as best as I can give you. But now, on a volume that sounds like a freight train coming through the woods, and your chest is rattling from the vibration of this, and your feet are literally, your whole body. It's like a small earthquake, if you will. And we thought when we first heard the first couple of bashes, we thought that it was beating a car to death.
Jeez.
We actually have this on video in Rex's file. Rex, when we were filming for our show with WHKY TV 14 with Rex Allen Theater Presents, guys, we have 7 to 8 MacBooks full of video footage of us in the woods with some of the best documented sounds and or callbacks or tree knocks or movement in the forest that you're ever going to hear. And, you know, we're working towards trying to get that archival footage and going through it and trying to re-release that on our website on YouTube. But I mean, it's hard to describe that sound because it is a very, I mean, it gets your attention quick.
So it's like a 1-ton boulder dragging across another boulder.
Yes, I mean, for lack of a better word, yes. We have found river rocks that have been carried that weigh a few hundred pounds carried from the river, you know, because they're smoother. They've been in the water a very long time, you know, and they're 300-400 yards from the river up on these larger boulders, and they're actually broke in half where it was going, you know, just beating on these things, you know, and the rocks would actually just disintegrate.
Oh, so, you're talking about pounding versus dragging the rocks.
Oh no, beating and grinding.
Okay, beating. And
we
grinding.
have found evidence of both.
David Ellis, I think, is in the audience. Have you ever heard anything like that, David? Heard of any other recordings? Generally, there's hardly anything that's a one-off. Generally, there's other witnesses that have heard the same thing, and we're investigating right now the strange kind of hummingbird hum that's been reported all the way back into the 1800s. And I've personally recorded it and have heard it and associated with Bigfoot activity.
Thank you, John.
You guys ever had any experience with any witnesses or anything you've ever heard that sounds just like hummingbird wings that would prelude an encounter or seeing a Bigfoot or hearing one or anything?
Are you thinking of what we're thinking of, David?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, go.
What's the bird? It's called whippoorwill. Is that the term for it? The correct term for the bird?
Oh,
the audio
is
freezing up.
Is a nightjar. Yeah, it's a nighthawk, they call them. That's a whippoorwill.
Yeah. That's we've heard that quite a few times before activity strikes.
That, and then that's almost sounds like sometimes a bug will. I guess I always think it's a bug. Like it sounds like, I guess you would think it was a hummingbird when you flop behind your ears, and you're like, whoa, and we're looking at each other.
And you never see a bug, but you don't see a bug.
No, you don't see a bug. No. And we got cameras pointing at each other. I mean, like you'll see sometimes where we're like, whoa, like that, and I guess that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is basically you feel it, you know, vibrating. Mm-hmm. It sounds like there should be a hummingbird there or a bug or something like that, like a big June bug, but there's nothing there. And this has been reported, believe it or not. We found articles back into the 1800s.
Wow.
So it's a thing, and we're getting more and more witnesses that are responding, including one man who said he had a Bigfoot visit his window when he was a kid all the time, and was always preceded by this hum, like a hummingbird's wings.
Yep.
A buzz. And then the Bigfoot would appear in the window. Bigfoot would stay there for 15 seconds and leave. And then what would happen again? The same. He always knew that creature was going to come into the window because of that hum. So it's called, we're just trying to connect dots. And so I don't think people talk enough, with each other. But please pay attention to that in the future. Could be a thing. So why were you smiling, Super Dave?
Guys, everything's freezing up really bad for some reason.
Oh, you're good now.
Yeah.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you perfect.
All right. So what was the question?
Oh, have you ever heard that sound, that like insect in your ear, or that hummingbird sound, hummingbird wings sound?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm going to, yes, something similar, but we're going to call it frequency. Okay. And I think that they can project a frequency that, can kind of guide your thought processes or get you, because you hear something you're not sure, or you think you heard something, or maybe sometimes you feel like it. Those frequencies are so low and they hit you sometimes, and you're like, what is this? I'm feeling something, but I can't put my finger on it, guys. And we experience this a lot. So it's something that I want to spend more time with, is projecting different frequencies in the woods to see what kind of reactions we get.
Yeah, and that's I think that's the thing that researchers need to do this year. We can get the word out. David's got a whole chapter in his new book on this. David Ellis works with the Olympic Project, and he's I guess a sound expert. He creates all these spectrographs and does all this stuff. He's somebody you'd probably need to get to know. But what was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. What I was thinking. The sound could be maybe something they're almost like a parabolic mic, instead of listening, but it's projecting directly in your ear, right by your head, and making that sound in your ear vibrate. And people are mistaking it for like a hummingbird flapping their wings right by your ear, or a bug or a June bug or something.
Yep.
So, Tate, nod your head if you're Tate. With the Squatch, which one's Tate? You guys are confusing the hell out of me. You're Tate. Yeah, well, Kate is right then. So Taylor, tell me more about what you heard, and tell me the whole story.
So, I mean, and I'm sure it's in probably a few of our videos. I mean, there's been times where even like Toby, if Toby, he'd back me up on it. No, I'm just, but even Tate, David, like we'll be walking and, we're filming with night vision. When a bug flies through on night vision, you see it because it's light. It's just, but there's times where we're walking and we're filming each other. I mean, now that you put it into me, because I've always just thought it was maybe a bug, but like looking back at some of the footage, there's never anything that flies in front of the camera, and you can hear literally what sounds like a June bug, like almost flying like into your ear, but never hitting you. It's like,
right.
Yep,
that's it.
Yeah, it goes off, and that's just crazy. And then even I just got cold chills when I read David Ellis's comment saying that he's heard the rock thing that David was talking about.
Oh, see, he has heard it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so you're blowing my mind with the buzzing in my ear, because I've always just dismissed it. Like,
well, see, that's why it's been blown off by all these people too that have recorded audio of Bigfoot.
Thank you, infrasound. I could not remember infrasound. David Ellis just got in there. I think infrasound is a big deal in the Bigfoot world.
I do too.
And I believe a lot of times when we're hearing mysterious noises, it is infrasound. And Toby's not here, and I'm not knocking on Toby right now, but Toby got zapped here several months back. Infrasound, I believe, is what gets me. I'm very sensitive to certain frequencies. There are certain songs that are coming out now that I can't listen to them. I get nauseous. It's not the lyrics, it's the music. There's some stuff on television here lately. I'm like, turn that channel. I can't take it. I'm going to throw up. And it's just a very nauseating feeling. And I know it's the frequency that it's being broadcast in. And I know that there's lots of things that happen in nature that we're not aware of, but I really believe infrasound is a big part of the Bigfoot world.
I really feel that I'm not very sensitive to it, but I know I have friends of mine that get nauseated. They'll walk in circles. David Ellis is very sensitive to it. He gets that dread, like I need to leave now. Doesn't even know why. So do you get that dread too, Dave? The dread.
We do.
Yeah, where you just need to leave. How about you guys? How about Tate and Taylor? Any dread that ever happens to you guys?
We do. Bad energies, bad feelings. A lot of times when we go out and investigate.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've don't do it as much anymore. We've brought some paranormal stuff out on some investigations where we believe, and I dread that all the time. Now, like just the dread feeling now in certain locations on our property is just like, I don't think I want to get into there anymore. We'll still clear it for a few weeks.
Well, the last few times we've done paranormal, I can think of two instances where one time we've done paranormal tech with our Bigfoot investigation, trying to tie the two together. David fell to his knees and on his back, basically got zapped and passed out. And then one time I got scratched on my back. So we kind of just
Yeah.
stopped doing that
Yeah.
for the time being.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
We-
puzzling statement. Do you want to expound just a bit on that?
Which part?
You said you got something on the back, slapped or scratched on the back.
Something,
Yeah.
three claw marks scratched in the center of my back, and it's all on camera and video.
Yeah.
We were using one of the EMF reader spirit boxes,
Mm.
and it was an area where David was referring to earlier, where the boulders were. These mounds and boulders were just placed randomly in the woods, and we
Right.
call it Fear Rock because a lot of weird things have happened there with guests we brought out and whatnot. And one night we was there asking it questions, talking to it. It was communicating back, and then I had a burning sensation like a bee sting that kind of went down my back. And I told the guys, and we kind of got out of the woods and shined a flashlight on it, and there it was, 3 claw marks in red.
Yeah.
Spontaneous injuries. You know, I would say the most confusing thing is, and I certainly believe in the paranormal and all that stuff. I've seen a ghost. I've had witnesses. I've seen all sorts of crazy stuff. But what if the forest is occupied by all sorts of crazy things, you know, that we don't.
That's what we believe.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
that's
Yeah.
what we believe.
like,
Yes.
yeah, like whenever we are like our primary thing, we honestly believe within our vicinity because there's other what backs us as the Squatch Watchers in our area is there's other people that's had sightings besides us. Even people that don't even believe in Bigfoot you'll sometimes hear through the grapevine like someone had seen something run across the road or anything, and like, but that's we think that there's more paranormal in our
Yes,
area.
Greg.
Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think the woods are definitely haunted. Like it's crazy.
You do wonder. Let's just say there's ghosts running around in the woods or other weird. We don't know anything.
No.
And I hate to say, oh, this is part of this mystery or this is part. I'd just rather just keep Bigfoot kind of as a creature and go, well, geez, that doesn't mean that there aren't spirits in the forest that can do all sorts of things. Think how old forests are. Think of all the people that have died in these forests. Think of all the violence that's happened in these forests, on and on and on, including violence against animals. Think about I always think of the forest as it's like the most alive thing you could walk into. Like it's so alive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's like that even goes with people that like take their shoes off. My wife does it every morning and goes out in grounds with the grass.
Yep.
And walks barefoot. Like that shows you there's something. I mean, the world. I mean, it's alive. Like.
Oh, it is. Yeah, every aspect. The trees, I think, are a lot more intelligent than we think. It's pretty much the forest. I think of it as a super organism.
Yeah.
So if you think of the forest as a super organism, you better watch your P's and Q's because super organisms got you outnumbered, man, in a big way, intelligence and all sorts of things. And so, it'd be fun to hear more crazy things. What is it about this creature, though, that you feel, what super abilities or what paranormal abilities do you guys feel it possesses? Or that you theorize or whatever, qualify your statements.
Gosh, I could go all night. David, you can take one.
Go.
I was just going to tell him, David, we see these lights that flash almost, back whenever we first started, we saw them all the time. We'd bring skeptics in. They're like, hey, what's that flash of light? We're like, well, hang on a second. And then after the flash of light, activity will start happening. Stuff just gets gone so quick. We'll see flashes of light.
Orbs?
Yeah, orbs. Like, it looks like if you turn a light bulb on and it just blow, kind of, but like in a green color-ish. And we've seen blue. And Ron Moorhead has came with us, and one night, and the guy that was with him videoed literally what I think was one of these things flying and popping into a tree. Like, and Ron was like, oh, wow. You know, Ron, he's just laid back, and like, he even witnessed it on our property, and he witnessed the rock throwing, but I'll let these guys take some of it over now. I mean, we've seen a lot.
Cloaking's one of them. It's a touchy subject for the Bigfoot community, but we've had some experiences that we could actually refer to as cloaking. We've had multiple people reach out to us and explain to us their sightings and encounters, and they think it's cloaking. Cloaking is one of the big ones. David, do you have any?
Well, Bigfoot answers a lot of questions, and it all, to me, we've had a theory that I've adopted for years, and the more I research, the more I study, the more it proves out. And I don't think Bigfoot's tied to. It is a species, okay? Is it supernatural? Absolutely. Is it paranormal? I don't know. Is it tied to the paranormal? But I can tell you one of the best examples, if you want to know about interdimensional or cloaking abilities. I know it says in the book of Genesis somewhere. I give you chapter in scripture. We can point me on that later, but I know it says that Lucifer is the little g god of both worlds. Okay, little g. That means he can walk between two worlds. And it also says in Job chapter 1 verse 4, God is basically asking Lucifer, what are you doing? And Lucifer answers, oh, nothing, walking up and down between the two worlds. The Bible gives us Bible chapter and verse of the ability that the fallen angels have to walk between two worlds, and that's hell and earth. So we know the Bible also says, careful ye not know when you entertain an angel. So if you don't know that you're entertaining one, that means they can change shapes. So now we can talk about skinwalkers. We can bring that into the theory. So we can bring fallen angels in as an off species of Bigfoot. Did an angel, a fallen angel, mate with something? Are they an offshoot of the Nephilim?
Yeah.
There's so many theories out there.
Yeah, there
but
is.
I truly believe, that they are nothing more than a one or so of the fallen angels that can move between the two worlds, that decided I'm going to set up base here and I'm going to live while I can until the Lord comes back. And technology is out there now, guys. We're so wired, we're connected to everything. You know what everybody had for breakfast, when they belched, when they farted, the whole 9 yards. We know everything. All right. So now you've got sightings that are coming out of the woodworks 24/7. Everybody sees something. I've got the Mothman up behind me just because I'm kind of getting. I'm planning a trip to West Virginia, maybe. Anyway. But the closer we get, the further we get, I believe the thinner the veil has become between the two worlds, and we are seeing more because we're allowed to see more. Okay. Yeah. And do you think that's we got to prepare ourselves because there's something more powerful than any of us sitting here today, and there's a knowledge that awaits all of us. And I only hope that everybody really believes in someone who can do them greater benefit than themselves. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes or force anything on anybody, but that's just my belief.
What about CERN messing with all of this dimensional stuff that they're doing over in CERN? Do you think that is?
Listen, that's scary stuff, guys. That is some scary stuff. And I mean, the more you start looking into CERN, NASA, and the Hebrew word for NASA or the Latin word for NASA, I mean, you start doing your research. I won't go on to any brands out there, but there are some brands that people love on a daily basis that clearly have demonic signs intertwined with them, and man, they just can't get enough of it.
Well, CERN definitely
CERN is doing they're doing stuff that, first off, we have no business tapping into certain things because we don't know. If you turn a portal on, literally, if it's possible to do, how do you turn it off? Okay. So I tell the guys all the time, Hollywood gives us truths a lot of times in movies because people want us to know more than we do now.
Yeah.
And and we talk about CERN opening a portal. The movie The Mist scared me to death because it was the military messing around trying to open up a portal, and it went to something that they never even thought of. And that was a very scary movie for me. And so CERN's a big deal, and people better pay attention to their surroundings.
Alex, what do you think about all that, and this dimensional stuff, and when you hear all this stuff?
Well, I try not to think about it too much. I'll never get any sleep. It's terrifying. It really is. I try not to look into it too closely because, you go down a rabbit hole, and next thing you know, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to bed.
Well, I guess they're going to fire up CERN on just happens to be the day of the eclipse.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, yeah. All the rockets are going to be fired. What's that all about?
Yeah, you do kind of wonder. And that I've never seen such a thing of NASA putting out a warning or a call out. If you notice any weird animal behavior or any strange insect behavior during the eclipse, please report it to us. And I'm just like, what is going on? I'm just like living in a different world right now.
I think that I don't want to mention it because I don't want to give it any credit. I don't know if y'all mind it or not, but I think that app that everybody watches that has a TT, TikTok, that takes me down the NASA rabbit hole all the time, and I kind of hate it because like Alex was saying, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking, I'm like, dang, is the world really flat? Like, what's going on, man? like, there's so much weird stuff out there.
It
now.
makes you think. It really does make you think.
Yeah, especially the whole NASA blowing my mind.
Though, I think all these weird theories that are on like TikTok are good for people. Anything that gets you thinking is good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that gets you questioning things, it's healthy. I always tell people, Bigfoot researchers, they have a huge amount of intelligence because they're curious about the natural world. They're curious. And they get off their duff and they go out there and they do things about it. And they attend conferences where they can meet people and learn and exchange ideas. So you got to give yourself credit for that. I mean, I would say you're probably in maybe 1/10 of 1% of the population now.
Oh, yeah.
As far as being interested in the world and really how it makes. That's what I've always tried to instill in my kids. I don't care if you go to college, but God, be interested in the world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so you guys as researchers, I know you do UFO stuff and ghost stuff and whatever, but that makes you more intelligent. I'm sorry, it does.
Yeah, the UFO stuff did us. Like, I'm not, no, don't get us wrong. We don't go out searching for us, but that one actually did us, like in an actual video. And that one kind of blew our mind.
Well, it's so flabbergasting. the sequence of events in that particular video that led to.
Well, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
David, you tell a story good. I want you to take this one because it's phenomenal when you get down to the very end of it with what we saw on camera and have it documented.
And then, Alex, you have to come up with one of your Alex questions. So, all right, go ahead, Dave. Tell us about this video.
So y'all want me to talk about this one? Because we're breaking up a little bit. I couldn't hear everybody.
Okay, Dave.
Okay, so the UFO.
Yeah.
So the UFO, right?
Yes. And
all right.
The picture.
So we're standing in the woods. Hillary has just took a picture for us, and it's a great picture. It's actually hanging up behind me on the wall over here, or in front of me now. There's some eye shine. We catch something that's standing on the hill, what we believe really is a Sasquatch. And we were not video, we took a picture. So I'm trying to debunk this, and through the woods, you see this really brilliant silverish light. And I mean, it's bright. And I'm going, hey guys, there's a flashlight over here. And then you're like, no, that's not, that's got to be a jet flying, pretty low. And it's just, we're seeing it through the trees. And then this is all on video. I think it's back in 2021, maybe 2022. So it's a great video. You'll see me, and I say, hey, what the hell is that? And I can't quit saying it over and over and over because it keeps coming at us, and it's obviously very low. Now the guys are filming with their iPhones, and I thought we had the Sony camera going. That would have been great. But this thing finally flies over our head, what we believe couldn't have been more than 300 feet off the ground. It's a classic example. They saw something different than I saw, and I felt like I was standing right under it. This thing was definitely kind of triangle in shape, but it had a forward kind of fuselage with triangular wings, a tail span, another set of some type of wings on the tail. And this thing, I'm going to say, was at least 2 stories tall, if not taller. It had to be the length or width of a football field plus. Okay. I'm being conservative here. You could see the giant rivets, if you will, and there were silver spherical lights all around this thing. Okay. I mean, you could see the metal on it, how close it was to us. And this thing flies. It didn't fly. It floated over. There was no thrust. There were no afterburners. There was no nothing. Just a slow, steady right out of sight. And we were awestruck because we believe we had just saw a Sasquatch not more than 2 minutes into seeing what we think is a picture of a Sasquatch. Here comes the UFO. Jeez. And this is the very night that these 2 guys surprised me with the spirit box. And 35 minutes from the site of this UFO, we have some of the greatest interaction on a spirit box that I've ever had to date, and it scared me to death.
Oh.
And that's the video where
y'all all froze up on me again.
David gets weak and like falls down, and we clickbaited it and said David passed out. Apparently, okay, we didn't know another term for it. Okay, so David gets weak and falls out because the thing is like, it says something about David and it says your daughter, and he's like, what about my daughter? And it says something else, and then he's like, well, what's my daughter's name? And it goes, Kaylin. He goes, what? He goes, Kaylin again. It said it's her name twice, clear as day.
You guys were talking about that. I started glitching out my camera.
I know, I saw that. See? I mean, it follows us around.
I saw your background. It went
I'm telling you, whenever we talk about this stuff, it follows David around. I mean,
yeah, everybody's glitching in and out on my end.
Yeah. But yeah, it just started doing Kaylin, and that's when he was like, oh, falls backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I literally fainted, okay? I mean, people can say, oh, they faked it, oh, that was planned. Listen, you talk about hearing frequencies that no one else can hear. I don't know. Tate heard something, but whatever Tate heard, not on the spirit box, but coming from the area of the forest that we were in, I could hear entities, different something. They were calling me to come closer, come into the woods. And when we stepped into the woods, the spirit box went nuts, and it was answering direct questions. And I didn't say anything about my daughter. It brought it up.
Can you explain what a spirit box is? Because a lot of people don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Well, the spirit box, we've got 2 of them now, but a spirit box scans through frequencies, static electricity radio, scans through it at 10 times faster than like you can really just twist it. And all you hear is a nonstop. And then it's crazy because it's scanning through static, and it'll do it nonstop until you start asking it questions. Then all of a sudden, like, I know we're not going to cuss on here, but like, FM AM radio, there's no cussing on FM AM radio.
Right.
Like they blur it all out. But there's a video from a couple months back. We're down near the river, and you hear, and it says something about your mom. And then Tate's like, what? Or Toby one was like, what about my mom? And it says BITCH. And we're like, holy, like that's what it pulls. It just pulls like words out of the, like, I guess the static frequencies. And I don't know how it found that word.
And so you guys heard this with your own ears saying the B word.
It's on camera as well, yes.
Yep.
We heard with our own ears and we documented on camera.
Yep.
It's interesting. And so you're using this for, it sounds like, you know what you guys should be called? You're forest researchers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think you need to be the forest watchers.
The forest rangers.
Well, we really try to come at it from every angle. I mean,
Yeah.
we
I
don't
know,
want to
but
just be
I
dismissive
realize.
of everything.
But literally what you're doing, and like, David Pilates would probably love what you guys are doing. You're basically trying to figure out the forest, all the mysteries in the forest. And that's like a whole new category that no one ever thinks about, that they have to be a ghost hunter or a Bigfoot, blah, blah, blah. Maybe
Well,
the
that's
forest, maybe the
That's the
forest
thing.
is the key.
They try to put in our community. It's like people want to put you in a box. You want to either be Bigfoot, ghost, or alien. Why can't, like you're saying, why can't we be all the above like we're trying to do?
Yeah, like we've brought like the XLS cameras in, and that's what just pulls like the stick figures if there's an anomalies. Yeah, I can't say the word. But like it's just we'll bring just different ghost tech out there sometimes. Well, like you said, we're just trying to figure this out.
Alex just bought me a Geiger counter for research.
Really?
Sure.
Okay. Nice.
They're only $30.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Digital Geiger counter. They work really good. So you might want to add that to your forest research.
We're forest.
That would have been really cool when that UFO was over the top of you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there's videos and there's pictures of it, but I'm telling you that the video that we captured does not do justice to how close that thing was to the ground.
Okay, I haven't seen anything, so
you should subscribe to our channel.
I'm using my phone as a stream, and David is. And I live out in the boonies, but I mean, you can try to send it if you got it to Alex's number.
Yeah, if you got a way to get something.
God, you know Alex's number.
I don't
broadcast on the live. It's on my phone.
Alex, can you find it on their channel and throw it up?
I can try. It'd be great if we could send it to me.
Can you give them kind of a timestamp where that would be, and what the episode name is?
Of the actual
of your channel. Well, he knows the channel of your that episode.
The episode of the UFO.
Yes.
Okay, it is.
Well, it'll take me a second. Let me look back.
I think it was 2021.
Yeah, it should say something about we see aliens. Hang on, we're looking now.
I'm gonna do it the easy way. Hold on.
But yeah, that while he finds this, y'all are welcome to do.
This isn't a fleet of alien UFOs caught on the camera above the house. Is that?
No, that's
the short. Our shorts are really just for our subscribers. Like the short stuff isn't out. It'll be on their actual full length video.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. If you type this, here's what. Okay, if you're on regular YouTube, like the search, just type in Bigfoot UFO Squatch Watchers, and it should pop up.
Bigfoot UFO. And Diane, you can't leave and go to their channel until after we're over. Then you go to their channel.
I saw Diane, and I was going to give a shout out to her, and so.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see everybody's comments and respond, so it's cool seeing everybody chime.
So is this the new Bigfoot UFO and ghost documentary?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. And it actually gives the timestamp of the UFO in the beginning of it, and then it shows a clip of
Alex will find it.
We kind of show part of it in the first bit of the video.
And it's so bright, like the camera makes it look so much more bright than it. Like it was pretty wild.
So then the other mystery we need to solve tonight is why root beer completely soothed my throat. I haven't had a problem since I took that sip.
Yeah,
might have honey in it.
Yeah.
No, it's sugar free.
It could be glue.
It's glue. Yeah, it's glue.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was such a hilarious thing. Anyhow,
trivia fact: you know why it soothes your throat?
What?
Because it's got licorice in it.
Oh yeah, I bought a bag of licorice, but I put it at my condo.
Licorice is good for all kinds of things. I can't get past the flavor, but yeah, it's great.
You might
we want to see this. This will be cool.
You might want to turn mute on.
Yeah, viewer discretion is advised.
Because David does.
Yeah, mute it. That's good.
I say HELL a couple times. I can't help it.
We don't want to hear it. You guys can narrate it.
Okay, we've never seen a plane follow.
Isn't it weird how different people look under UV or under IR light?
That's back when I had to have glasses for a while.
No,
so
but it doesn't even look like you.
Okay, so
Super
there it
good.
is, emerging on the screen, the dark.
Yeah.
And then, okay, here it is. This is on my phone. So you
And
see
this
That's-
is where David says, "What the heck is that? What
Yeah.
the is that?"
Yeah.
And then the camera always makes it look like it's further away. It's what sucks about it.
Well,
yeah,
it's because
it
it's
really.
But
3
see, there it
points.
is.
It's literally a
And
triangle shape.
I mean, this thing is almost hitting the tree line above us, like it's that low.
wow.
It doesn't look like on
It's
camera.
literally 300 feet off the ground. I mean, you felt like you could touch it.
What camera, Taylor, did you use to shoot this?
That was a Sony Handycam. I think we take some pictures right here and maybe throw up some still.
I thought you.
There it is.
Oh.
There's
Yeah.
still image.
Like,
Oh, okay.
look at it's a triangle formation of lots. And
Yeah,
It looks like a flying Christmas tree.
yeah, and
upside down.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and it was the Sony 4K Handycams what we were using right
Okay.
there. And then I think it was swapping back and forth from
And
Tate's
then
iPhone.
iPhone 8, I believe.
UFOs are the hardest thing to film because
Yeah.
what you need to do is you have to have somebody like shine a flashlight on a tree, get the camera on a, braced, and don't move the camera because you want to see the UFO move.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of see it. It's not just some dumb light in the sky. But yeah, they're very difficult to film.
Look, it's
And what's-
Waldo.
And what's crazy is we're pretty deep in like the woods right there. And we're trying to run out to the clear space to get to it. And
It was gone.
David was ahead of us first without the camera. And I was like, David,
Yeah.
take that camera.
I mean,
but
it was
I was
gone.
like, yeah, but it was.
So-
it was
Sorry.
So you guys specialize.
Hope you got this video.
You guys specialize in making what I would call very raw cinema verite documentaries, correct?
Yes.
You just
Yeah.
film
And
everything.
that's-
You don't give a shit. Yeah. Well, they're cool and they captivate people because the secret is it's content.
Yes. Yes.
We try to get cinematic with a few things.
Yeah, like
and
our
it
house
just-
calls,
yeah.
we try to do a little bit more, but our woods, like our night investigations, we just kind of
raw, uncut
Yeah.
files is what people
found
like
out
to
like
see.
Well,
whatever.
I was standing in line one time in Vegas at NAPTI with the best top producers in the entire world right behind me, right? And there was a little monitor that was showing this very jumpy, bumpy footage of somebody kidnapping a child. Every eye was on that content.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It didn't matter that it was smooth footage or
No.
it's the content. So I always remember that the content is king. As long as you
Yeah.
have content, yeah, it's awesome.
We've ran into the situations to where the more professional we try to get with us, the more people are like, "You guys are selling out. Y'all are hoaxing now."
Yeah,
It's like,
no, I
man,
would
trying to
just-
bring you better.
No,
Clear.
guys, you have a formula. Just keep doing
Yeah.
what you're doing. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
the content. And if you're experiencing good content, then keep going.
Yeah.
It's a different type of deal, It's a totally different category. And some people aren't good at it because there's nothing ever going on around them.
Yeah.
Then it's boring. But if you guys have stuff going on and you have, you guys have the gift of gab and you got equipment and you're in the right area.
Yeah.
What more do
And
you
that
need?
and that's what's different about us than other researchers too, I guess. I mean, most researchers, some of them have a location they go to every week, week in and week out. We almost investigate the same location besides the house calls weekly.
Mhm.
And we've got this theory David has to where we believe sometimes we're the entertainment for them. Like, I mean,
Sure.
of course, we're not going out there filming a clear Bigfoot every time. And that's what people always ask us. Why can't you get it on camera? It's like, well, I mean, it's pretty hard. I mean, we've played tricks on each other where we've stepped off on the side of the woods wearing white clothes and we'll just walk right by each other. And like people don't realize, I mean, it's pretty hard. You can smell it.
It's
You can
harder than
definitely
it
smell
looks.
it before you see it.
It's harder than it looks.
Have you guys had any
See the eye
experience-
shine in that picture?
Yeah. Have you
And
guys
we
had
were
any-
standing right in front of a very large engineered X.
Interesting.
Everybody's
Yeah.
froze.
Have you guys ever experienced the smell attack, the stink attack?
The stench, yes.
Yeah.
I call it the stench attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you smell when you smell it?
To me, it smells like rotten meat and
Bam.
poop and just everything nasty.
Yeah, like skunk, wet dog, rotten poop. I mean, just
Rotten. Oh,
it's
just
bad.
It's horrible, sickly.
Yeah. That's what David always tells people before we go out on investigations. You're going to smell one before you see one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've had pure skeptics with us, and we have found, like, we followed their trail, let them walk where they want. We found what we think is a great track. They do the smells. We've had coyotes go crazy in the woods, and then David will give a call. The coyotes go crazy. Something calls back, and the coyotes just go completely silent. Like, and skeptics are just like, "What is that? That's a Bigfoot." Like, it's dominating.
Well, I do know that it seems, once again, I don't know anything, but it seems as though they can kind of project that stink on you, and then it disappears. I've never been in an area that stunk, that stayed stinky, or where I heard them walk away. It just seems like they can just blast you with it, you know?
Yeah, it just comes and goes, and it's
Another defense mechanism to get rid of you. Well, got rid of Toby. Totally. Toby's gone. He didn't want any of this. Actually, I think Toby wants his own show. I'm going to have Toby on all by himself.
Yeah, do it.
Wow. Yeah.
Good. We're going to poke fun of him in the comments.
Yeah. Alex, it's your turn. I'm sorry. I've been hogging everything. I know you always. Alex asks the best questions. Sorry. No pressure.
Yeah, if you guys, what do you think would be life-changing as far as Bigfoot research? Like, to get equipment you guys would really want, but, you know, can't justify spending right now. Like, do you think for 10,000 you could really up your game? 20,000, 100?
All honesty, for me, I would want a FLIR 4K camera, and they're about 25 grand last time I checked. That to me, you know, it doesn't answer everything, but it certainly allows us to debunk some of our own stuff before we show it to the public. And a lot of stuff, you know, we not everything you hear see in a big woods is a Bigfoot or paranormal. And if we figure it out, we go back and we air and say, hey, look, guys, here's the clip. We debunked this. This is what it really was. You know, just want to be honest with our viewers. But a 4K FLIR camera, game changer.
Yep.
I imagine the clarity has to be amazing on those things.
Yeah. And then even a thermal drone, something like that, would change the game.
Thermal drone.
Yeah, that would change the game.
A parabolic mic. We need to up our game on collecting audio. Because we
actually you do not want a parabolic mic.
Is that
worst
right?
thing you ever do? Get
really?
something. Get a good omnidirectional system that can really cover 360.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no way you can't.
That's where the task speaker comes in, guys.
You you would have to know exactly where to point that thing to get a good audio from a parabolic. They're extremely. They have maybe a half a foot either way pattern. Otherwise, your audio is worse than if you just had an omnidirectional, really good quality omnidirectional mic. You know, with a number of mics, with like more than one person carrying the mics.
Yeah,
would really help. Yes. So I wouldn't worry about that, but. Eric has been experimenting with these really tiny thermal cameras that are very tiny. They're not 4K by any stretch. They're like 240 by, 300 pixels. They're really low. But the small size can make up for that. You can put them places. You can hide them. You can do things with them because they're so convenient. You don't have to, carry a big 4K camera, so you might want to go the other direction.
Yeah.
There's something else that interests us, kind of a live stream trail camera for the sense of audience and us to check on periodically.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, just all you need is internet connection or cell phone connection, and you can use those Wise cameras.
Okay. Yeah.
The Wise have a battery that'll last a month in warm weather.
That's what we need.
And then all you need then is just good cell phone connection. and then a box put out there near the camera that can, get the internet out. If you guys ever want to talk, we can discuss that stuff. We can get together with Adam and we can get you hooked up because it sounds like you have a good area.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's very interesting where we're at.
Yeah, we've brought some people in that were kind of skeptical about us, and they've left. Like, we've let them go out on their own, and they've left. Y'all got a pretty good location. That's what makes us feel better about it, not make us feel like we're crazy.
We've been validated by visitors a few times.
Yeah.
So David says here, it says omnidirectional. Yeah, you don't worry about loudness. I can assist with drowning out any sounds in question. Yeah, I mean, the parabolic mic would work great if you knew exactly where the Bigfoot was there, standing. Perfect. Right. Then yes, you're going to get the best audio. But how are you going to know where a Bigfoot's standing in the middle of the forest, right? Plus, you can't shoot a parabolic through a tree. They don't work very well. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice. But the 4K camera, I actually had one that was damn near high def, Micron. It was $55,000 that I was just borrowed for quite a while, like a year and a half, 2 years. By Micron borrowed me a camera. It was amazing. But you hate to break a $55,000 piece of equipment.
Yeah.
We have a camera company that we're going to try to tie into one of our next videos. They sent us like a monocular thermal.
Oh, okay.
Clear thing, but we don't have to say it on here.
You can.
We can. Oh yeah. It's like a Tasani or something like that brand.
Yeah.
We hadn't really looked into it yet to do the feedback on it yet, but I think it's like a $500 one. But we're going to try to use. But I think it's like, I only think you can take pictures with it though. I don't know if we're going to be able to record with it.
You know what's really cool, and this is something it's not my idea. It was Jeff Meldrum. He brought it up to Snellgrove when we went up there together. He took a night vision scope and fastened it with a retaining ring to an IR camera. So we had the best of both worlds.
Oh, wow.
So it really amplified. So it's low light IR camera.
We did that.
Attached, with the...
Early on. We did that very early on.
Yeah. It works really well.
Yeah. So, we were kind of like hillbillying it a little bit, though. We would just take it, try to match it against the camera and do it. Like, it was kind of harder. But yeah, that's a really good idea. If we had like a rig we could build like him, that would work good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, you guys need to get some e-bikes, I think. You need to get, well, not for me. I don't want to build any more of them damn things. I built so many of them. But you should get a fat tire bike, at least one, if not two. They're not that expensive. And just get a motorcycle dash cam with cameras front and rear. They've got audio. And with those, you guys can go farther, explore more, and do a surprise on maybe a creature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it'll just drain your damn batteries down instantly, and you'll be screwed.
It's happened.
That's been wild. That's like, we've had our batteries drained before. Like, can't explain that. Like, we had an ex-NFL player come bring like a couple $1,000 one of his FLIR scopes they use for hog hunting, and fully charged. We go out in the woods and it dies instantly, and the activity starts. And then he changes the battery, and then it died instantly. Mm-hmm. And he can't explain that. He's like, and he's still skeptic a little bit now, still, but he couldn't explain that, like just stuff dying. That's some other stuff that's odd that's happened on our property. Could it be the land? I don't know, but it's pretty wild.
And is it near you guys? I mean, do you have to drive? Do you guys live near each other? Or do you have to drive all pretty far?
Yeah, I think Tate's got the closest.
We're all within 45 minutes of each other.
Oh, that's close. That's actually 45-minute drive couldn't be any better. It's perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Not too long.
That's a perfect drive, man. Just get enough time to relax and you're there. I love it.
Yeah.
What else here? I'm trying to. There was I had some notes, and of course I left them in the other room. There was something I wanted to ask you guys. What the hell was it? Damn it, I can't think of it. It was a good question. I actually surprised myself. I thought, well, that's a good question. So what stuff do you want to say? We'll wind it up here in about 6 minutes. But what stuff would you like to tell our audience? I mean, what message do you want to get across?
Oh man, David, take it away.
What's your scariest? Besides the UFO, I'm sure that was a little upsetting. But was there something? Oh no, I know. There's a good question. What was the scariest story you've heard from witnesses or a case you investigated? Or it wasn't your experience, but somebody else's that you met?
There was a preacher named,
Johnny Tomlin.
No, not Johnny.
Oh,
we interviewed him. He used to work with me. He was a preacher. He worked with me, and he told David and myself. His name was Tim. I don't want to say his last name because he didn't even want to come on camera and tell us. But he was telling us that something, he swears up and down, a Bigfoot jerked him out of a tent and started dragging him through the woods and then dropped him. And he ran back home. That's pretty terrifying to me. I was like, man, would you take us to the spot? Would you I can't do it because I'm a head of a church. I really don't want it out there, but I'm just telling y'all this, y'all be safe out there. Basically giving us a warning, hey, be safe.
Wow.
But yeah, that's one of the ones I've heard.
One that sticks out to me, I couldn't make this trip, but a homeowner reached out to us about his pit bull dog being viciously attacked, and his eyeball being ripped out of his socket. And that was pretty that was pretty scary and frightening, especially what y'all went and found. I mean, it was intense story and video.
Yeah, we did a house call on that one. That was pretty wild.
I know David is in talks with someone. I don't know if he wishes or they wish to share their stories on camera live, but there's a lot of weird things going on in a location in Florida.
It's a lady from Ocala National Forest up in Florida. If you and the audio is breaking up on me, so I'm assuming y'all want some of the scariest stuff we've ever heard.
Yes, yeah.
Mine came from
the audio's good.
Mine came from my pastor, because my pastor told me to be very, very careful getting into this, and he's been very supportive, and he's always helped point us in the right direction. I will tell anyone who is thinking about becoming a researcher for the cryptid or paranormal, you better prepare yourself. You can go into places or investigate with people, and unbeknownst, you can bring something home that you're not prepared to deal with. Okay. I tell you that with great authority. I will not go into any further detail. You just need to be careful. With that being said, the lady in Ocala National Forest, she's sending us videos that coincide with an investigation we just did up in the Morganton South Mountain area of I'm going to say an entity of some sort appearing on her cameras. But whatever she has Sasquatch type footprints all around her property. They are actually, they have bent the fence connecting her, fencing off her backyard. It's bent into the house where it's actually broke the stucco off of the house. She has a son who is autistic, and he has become so scared he doesn't even want to leave the house anymore. And we're just trying to find time and opportunity to go and investigate. And I don't know that we can really help, but maybe we can find some answers for her. But the videos she sends us are very frightening. They're not for the faint of heart. And she sends us some pictures that are just ungodly. Sometimes you're in the woods and you can call them different things. You can call them different names, but there are spirits, entities, beings of whatever you want to say are in the woods with you, and you don't even know it. So I tell everybody, be on guard all the time. You never know what you're going to see, feel, or experience.
What's your theory on missing people. You guys, I'm sure you've thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Like probably what's going through your head. Could it be some type of Bigfoot taking people? Could it be, if you believe in portals, could they walk off into a portal? I mean, there's so much stuff that could. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I could see it. I could see people being abducted by Bigfoot.
Or some other God knows what that's in the forest.
Whatever else is out there in the universe. I mean, it could.
Wouldn't it be cool if we could see all the entities in the forest? Maybe that's just wall to wall with spirits and weird creatures and God knows what.
It's almost like we have a veil over our human vision. Yeah.
So, gosh, I wish I'd have known. I had a picture, Doug. I wished I would have known that I could have sent you guys from a trail cam that was taken in the area that we were just investigating 2 weekends ago. It was taken back in 2014. Guys got a deer feeder set up, and he's just out, and it's right at dusk. You know, the sun's not quite down, but it's, you know, you don't need a flashlight, but you're 10 minutes away from not being able to see what's going on. And he's in the picture, and it snaps the picture of him doing whatever with his deer feeder. Okay. And he goes on about his business, doesn't think nothing of it, goes home, and, you know, when he goes back and checks his trail cam, he's got, you know, these images on there. Again, he doesn't think much of it until he gets home and starts putting them on the computer, and he blows it up. And this is the one that looks female, Tate. Remember, it's got the badonkadonk butt. Okay.
Yep.
It is. I'm going to say it's a demonic being. That's a good six. Go ahead.
Is it white?
It appears to be white. Yes.
Oh, okay. I've seen that footage.
Long black hair. You can see a face of some sort, but you can't make out all the features. But it is clearly there, and that's what unnerves me sometimes, knowing that we're wandering around in the forest with these spirits, entities, whatever you want to call them, and we ain't even got a clue where they are or what they intend to do for us.
Right.
Yeah. And I'll end with this too. For me, we used to leave rocks as offer, like we didn't know that we were offering, so we stopped that because the activity got pretty heated sometimes when we'd leave some rocks or leave stuff for it, because we'd get rocks left for us. We were told now don't do the offering type things with them, and like David said, if you're going to get into it, if anyone's watching, just tread lightly, because Tate and I found out hard way, kind of. I know you've been into the TV world a lot, both of you guys, and we went and did an investigation with a couple guys and got a little too forced, so we had to step away a little bit from that. We can tell you this, it was real.
Well, do you think that you guys have a lot of activity because you are, I would imagine you're all good people. You seem playful. Even somebody could mention that in the comments. Do you think that helps your activity?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
100%.
Because, and this ain't taking a shot at anyone, but the people that are normally bashing us are the people that take it too serious, and they're going out there and they're acting like they're never getting any evidence as much as we do. Well, try it our way, and maybe you will get more evidence. Like, be yourself, we think, and just go out there, because they know you're going to be there. Whether you try to hide, talk, stay silent, they know you're there. And that's the way we believe. I mean, we're not experts. I mean, but that's just the way we believe. It just,
We're just thinkers and wanderers documenting our adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you, there was one I looked at. It's the woman in the her husband that had a creature kind of step out of the driveway and it went right back in the forest as they drove by. What did you guys come to a conclusion on that?
That's the one in Morganton, right?
I don't know where it was. I only had time to look at it for a second.
Yeah. Go. You guys go ahead and tell me when you want me to jump in.
You go ahead.
I honestly, when we went to that, we didn't know what to expect. Guys, I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not psychic. I'm not any of those things. But what I tell everybody, I'm sensitive. I feel frequencies closer and experience things different than most. I believe that Tate, Taylor, and myself are all kind of wired the same, and that when we're together, that it just makes a stronger connection. Our energy is red. So when we got on this property, we were not prepared. I actually had to leave their house because I nearly fainted in their house. The feelings were so strong. They had some type of presence on their property that for them didn't mean them any harm. Okay, I don't believe it liked us being there at all, and I believe it was because of our deep spiritual beliefs in Christ. And when we found the prints on their property, they were not Bigfoot prints. Okay, they were more of a demonic cloven print, and they were big.
Well, that creature I did see the creature. I saw the footage, and it's just something kind of a weird shaped thing. It steps out and then goes right back. It didn't look like a Bigfoot to me.
No,
I don't believe it was the Bigfoot. I believe it was bad juju, and their property was marked in 3 different places by tree breaks and structures and arches that we have never seen in such intensity. And it was all right along their property line, and it beeline to the main part of their house and to their front door. Okay, and in their living room, where this, if the property marks I'm talking about is where I experienced and got so sick and so nauseated, I literally had to leave.
Wow.
And honestly, I couldn't wait till the investigation was over. I hated going back in the house to give them a conclusion and show them video clips and things, and prepare them to, we're going to release the video. We don't want to scare anybody to death, but they didn't believe that they were in any danger. They just wanted answers. I can't tell you they were in danger. I can tell you that I didn't feel comfortable on their property.
And they sent us a video after we left of legit. I mean, I've always tried
orbs.
to do this orbs. I always like, oh, that's a dust particle.
Yep.
No, this was legit.
Orbs.
I'll have to try to send it to Alex, see if I still got the video where she sent it, and y'all can check it afterwards.
Yeah.
It legit looks like an orb flying out of the refrigerator. Just a ball of light. I'm like, whoa. Okay, yeah.
It dematerializes right before your eyes on camera.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the room.
Yeah, and you guys got a feeling that they were sincere, of course, I would imagine.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
they truly believed everything they were telling us.
Well, and then our spirit box, and I know we're running low on time, but the spirit box messed up that night and got hung up on 2 Alabama songs. And we're like, what? And we go inside and we're like, hey, does whoever y'all think has died on this property or in this house, were they a fan? Yeah, they liked Alabama. Cold chills. Me and David's like, and Tate's like, well, holy crap!
Oh, that was interesting. That's a coincidence, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's a
We've never had the spirit box hang up on a station and play a song, and it just so happens both times different stations, different Alabama songs.
Yeah. It was just weird. It was really weird.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Well, we're going to have you guys come back on.
Would love to.
Maybe you can get Toby to come on, He's
Who?
I'm
just kidding.
Somebody.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys can do some prep work and you can get us some clips and whatnot. But it was good meeting y'all. And
it's nice
we
meeting you.
had fun. And Alex is going to get his mic fixed for next week, I guess.
We found out today we've got a couple mutual friends, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Brandon and Tiffany Dorn.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. Brendan's at home healing.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I will be tomorrow, so y'all be thinking about me.
Oh, you're going into surgery tomorrow?
Yep.
Well, Super Dave, we wish you very great operation or whatever you're having, and I hope you recover really super quick.
I do too.
Hope you have a super operation.
I got to get back in the woods.
Yeah. Are you going to be laid up for a while?
Nope. I'm going to have surgery Thursday, and then I'm going to go check the gel cam late Friday night.
Are you sure tomorrow's a good time to get your vasectomy done?
Well, it's too late. It's got to have it. I was going to say we were getting in an argument, but I wasn't going to go there.
I wasn't right on that.
No, you were not.
I was just joking. Yes.
I have some gastrointestinal issues that they're going to try to take care of tomorrow.
Oh, good. You know, the nice thing about our medical field is they are good with surgery, man. They are just so good with it. So it's amazing. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Flat Rockland and David Rosti and just kind of all the Jermac and Diane and Charles Smoke and all you great people. It was wonderful. And thanks, everybody but Toby. No thanks to Toby. It was great having you guys on. Now, Toby, we love you. We're just giving you crap. We're just giving you crap.
Absolutely.
You deserve it, though, right, Toby?
Yep, absolutely.
He deserves it. Yeah. So hopefully we can get out in the woods with you guys sometime.
Dude, let's make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doug, Alex, we would love to have you guys come.
Yeah. We'd sure we'd be a whole bowl of fun. Anyhow, so we'll talk later and hopefully see everybody back next week.
Rock and roll.
All right. Good night, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Good night, Alex.
Bye.
I call you up in the middle of the night. Been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll head on home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Oh, ain't no ordinary love we got going on. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait. If ever you should be in doubt, and I'll pray they never can pull us apart, and I'll wait for the time when we'll be together every day. But I know if ever we'll be led astray,